All right, enough TT. How about some quick hits instead?
Let's go, Gab.
Manchester United lose at home to Sheffield United in one of those top-bottom clashes. Jules, it's the magic of football. Is it just a blip for Solskjaer? And are you okay with a disallowed goal?
So I'm not okay with the disallowed goal. I thought it was a fair goal completely. I'm not sure. I still don't understand why.
You don't think Maguire runs into Ramsdale?
Not really, no. He's jumping. I think Ramsdale has the ball. He drops it.
Yeah, I Lofthouse used to do that all the time, so I guess it's fine.
But they're just, United never really turned up. No attitude, wrong attitude, no creativity, no idea. Bruno Fernandes went AWOL. Paul Pogba was certainly not as good as he was before. And I don't think Solskjaer did his best to change the way the game was going at 1-1.
But you love the defending on that second goal, didn't you?
Oh, my God. I mean, they're just standing there. It's like Subuteos. It almost looked like they couldn't move. It was Subuteos.
It's weird though, because this comes after a very lively performance in the cup.
Maybe they were tired. Maybe it's part of it.
But by the way, can we show some love for Billy Wilder and Chris Wilder
and Billy Sharp
and Billy Sharp? Yeah, I know they kind of melded into one. No, I love the fact that they keep going. And you just notice they had like 4 people on the bench.
Yeah,
seriously, last night they couldn't fill their bench.
A lot of players missing.
Unbelievable.
No, well done to them. Paul Pogba, staying with United, will hold talks with United at the end of the season, and he says that he and his teammates were effectively cheating the club with some of their performances. Gab, this would be quite a turnaround if he was to stay.
It's remarkable, and I mean, look, if he extends his contract and he stays, I honestly would love to go and this is a big sort of finger in the eye to all those people who said he's a cancer, get him out, destroy him, destroy
Overrated.
Overrated. If he gets a new deal and he stays, then it's because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants him to stay. Yeah. So I think that's significant. It's also, obviously, there's a global pandemic.
Yeah, that's the context.
So, that is the context of it, but it would still be pretty remarkable because he could still run his contract down and name his price. Barcelona come from behind to beat Rayo Vallecano in the Coppa del Rey as Lionel Messi makes his return and they hit the woodwork 3 times. Jules, this is more impressive, no? No.
They also went behind.
They come from behind. It shows character.
Okay, listen. The one thing I would say is that Frankie de Jong's, I was going to say transformation. That's why I waited a little bit. But the level that Frankie de Jong is playing right now, and I don't know if that's down to him, to Koeman, to the work that they've done together on his own, the team around. I don't know, but okay, this is another level, and he's the boss of this team, and he almost on his own.
The boss of this team when the little man isn't there, and
no, but even Messi is of course Messi is the boss, but de Jong has been so important, not just last night in the Copa del Rey, but the last 2 games before that, and he plays at another level, and that's the positive for me of that game. Not much else.
All right, okay. Hard man to please.
Sticking with Barcelona, El Mundo revealed the side of the debt, which stands at nearly $1.5 billion, and suggesting there's a risk of bankruptcy. Gab, this can't be right?
Well, it's right that this is the size of their debt. They have to publish their accounts, and this is the reality. Now, a lot of people don't really understand debt. People have asked questions, what about financial fair play? There's a bunch of different reasons. There's different kinds of debt as well. This is very serious. We've been talking for a long time. A lot of people have talked for a long time how they have to make serious cuts and they don't have any money. And that's why they paid Luis Suarez to go away. They're not going to go bankrupt because debt can always be renegotiated. You are kind of kicking the can down the road, and it's a difficult balance to strike because you want your team to remain competitive so you can keep getting money from the Champions League and whatnot, not damage your brand. But at the same time, you can't become insolvent. We've been through some of the reasons why they're in that situation. We don't need to go through it again. But this is not a financial fair play issue. This is a bad business decision.
Completely bad. No Ronaldo, but Juventus dispatched SPAL 4-0 in the Coppa d'Italia. Gab, this was pretty easy for Pirlo, right? Yeah,
it was easy. Look, SPAL has bigger fish to fry. And as far as Juventus, what I liked is he played a bunch of kids, which shows that a lot of people talk about promoting kids and trying to change their model that way. Pirlo's fully embraced it. Well done him. Arsenal get a big win at Southampton a few days after losing there with a much-changed side in the FA Cup. Jules, this was a good performance, and this was without Aubameyang, without Tierney, without Odegaard, who, of course, has just arrived.
Yeah, I thought it was really impressive, Gab, I have to say, the way they pressed, counter-press as well, as we saw on the first goal, the Pepe goal, the high line at the back, maybe almost catching Southampton by surprise. I'm not sure Southampton expected Arsenal to come at them the way they did, and I thought they were really good, especially to come back from a goal down. So really, really impressive, good momentum. And also just a quick word on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who was not there for personal issues. His mum is really ill, and we wish her, of course, a good recovery and speedy recovery. And also, please, people, stop spreading lies and things like that everywhere on social media. When you don't know why he's out, don't assume or don't spread lies, because I think some of the things written about Aubameyang was not very nice.
I'm going to go out, though, and, again, blame clubs.
No, but he
PR.
did it. He did it yesterday. He explained why. But
I'm saying is,
something
look,
very private as well, Gav.
Look, the problem is this was a private matter, and we should respect that. And he came out and he told us. He didn't have to tell us, right?
Yeah.
The problem I have is clubs in the past have used the terms, oh, he's out with a private matter, when in fact, maybe somebody was busted doing something they shouldn't have or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So clubs, don't cover for people. Don't say it's a private matter if it's not, because this is what then leads to the rumors. If he doesn't feel comfortable saying, look, I'm not here because my mom is unwell, that's his decision. It should be only his decision.
Yeah.
But clubs have created this situation for themselves.
Manchester City beats up West Brom 5-0 and at top of the table. No De Bruyne, no problem. Well, at least for that, Gav.
Yeah, West Brom, I mean, it's hard
better if
work.
I don't talk. I don't say anything.
Yeah, and look, once City go ahead, they're rolling, the movement, everything's great. I think what I find interesting is he's tried different solutions, and I think in some ways, without De Bruyne, he said, I can have so many different creative points of attack, right?
Yeah.
And I think that gives him another layer, and I think that's part of the reason also why we're seeing less of the center forward, right? We don't see Jesus. We used to think, oh, they have to have a finisher in there. Yeah, no, they don't.
And I think Laporte coming on at the end and for what really looked like a 3-1-3-3 looked very, very interesting, I think, if you're a City and City fan.
The British government has tightened quarantine requirements for people arriving from a number of countries in South America, Southern Africa, as well as Portugal, removing the so-called sporting exemption. Jules, this means a bunch of players, including Alisson, Firmino, João Cancelo, and others, could be sidelined for 10 days upon their return if they play in the March internationals. Does this make sense to you? Or does it mean they might not go?
I understand it. I think even if that sporting exemption was sort of taken away, I still think they will find another way of making it happen. We've seen it in the past, and I know this is a bit different, but I would find it really strange if those players were not allowed to go and to come back without having to quarantine. This probably be the right thing to do for them, but with all the bubbles and things, they might be okay to do
They
that.
will be allowed to go. They can't stop them from going. It's a question of when they come back.
Yeah,
but I just hope there's no player who says, oh, I can't go because I don't want to upset my club.
No,
that would be really bad.
Yeah, that would be. Andrea Agnelli says losses in European football, and we know that he's the chairman of the ECA, could be far worse than expected, as much as 8.5 billion euros over 2 years, which is twice what they predicted earlier. Gab, what are the implications if that numbers was to be true?
Well, they were hoping to come back and play with some number of fans in the stands. Obviously, that's not happening around Europe. The implications are there's not much money, and I think this battle over the Super League and the TV rights is going to get worse. Obviously, Agnelli he's in line with UEFA right now. As things go on, who knows? Jules, let's play Captain Hindsight. Given how serious the situation is with COVID and losses, do you think Borussia Dortmund regret not selling Jadon Sancho to United for less than the 120 million asking price?
Maybe they do. Maybe they're thinking like, oh my God, what have we done? What have we done, and what are we going to do now? Because one, he's not playing at the level that he was before. Two, they're certainly not playing well. Three, no one has any money. And four, you might have to keep him another year again, because is there anyone who's going to come for him in the summer?
Which means you'll probably have to extend his contract for another
year.
year. It is pretty remarkable. I mean, again, I think people are still in denial about the impact that this is going to have, the situation that clubs are in. The transfer window closes next week, right now, the January
Nothing has happened.
Right? Very little has happened.
Yeah.
It is funny. At the time, Dortmund said, no, this is our price, we're sticking for it, and a lot of people praise them for it, and maybe it was the right strategy at the time. But equally, I think, United look at this and say, hey, if he still wants to come, we kind of dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, definitely. Bayern starlet Jamal Musiala is eligible for Nigeria, England and Germany, but Gabby's future could be sealed next month.
That's right. There's reports in Germany saying that he's going to be called up. And, hey, maybe he'll go and pick the Mannschaft.
I know.
I don't know. I wonder what it must be like though if you're Musiala and say like, I can plot my own path. I mean, obviously he's not the only one in this situation.
Yeah.
He's eligible for multiple countries,
yeah.
but would you pick, given the amount of talent in his position and young talent, would you pick Germany over England? Just purely from a sporting and self-interest, or would you go Nigeria?
I really don't. I mean, okay, you can pick Nigeria and you've got more chances to play in that team and to go to World Cups and Africa Cup of Nations, but you don't have as many chances to win something, or certainly not the World Cup, as if you were playing for Germany and England.
And England? Because England win.
Well, no, they don't, but what
yeah, no, I get your point.
Maybe you go Germany. I mean, maybe it's a feeling that he has with
I think
the
in the
players
end,
that he's played
he's going to
with.
make an emotional decision as much as a sporting one. And that's right. That frankly, is the way it should be.
Definitely.
Tomas Soucek scores twice as West Ham United beat Crystal Palace 3-2. Jules, they're in the Champions League zone. They're fourth in the table.
Incredible.
They're ahead of Liverpool as we record this. How about some love for David Moyes and for the Czech goal machine?
David Moyes not so much, but the Czech goal machine, I'm all in. Soucek is brilliant.
David Moyes not so much. He's fourth in the table.
Yeah, he's fourth in the table, in a season that is the season that we're seeing.
Count.
Okay, but good. He's doing a good work, no problem. Benrahma is my boy, so he's a wonderful player, no problem at all. Soucek, this is his Fellaini. It's his Fellaini 2.0. He's find him. He's going to take him everywhere with him now. Wherever he goes next, Soucek is going to come. No, I'm happy for West Ham, for their fans. After especially all the trouble that the club's had in the last few years, they deserve stability and success, and they have it for now, so enjoy it, because I'm not sure how long it will last, though.
And I'm happy for David Moyes.
Yeah, I'm happy for David.
He's a good person. He's a good person in a field where there's some not so good people.
That's true. Atalanta go down to 10 men early in the second half, but still beat Lazio 3-2 in the Coppa d'Italia to advance to the next round. Gab, they continue to amaze.
They do. They're not playing a bad team, Lazio. They get a man sent off, Palomino going off early in the second half. And they go and they score the winner with Miranchuk. And, they had some guys out. They still go for it. They still score a ton of goals.
The depth in the squad is interesting, yeah.
There is a lot of, which is why Papu left. There is a lot of depth in this team. People don't fully appreciate that. Leicester and Everton draw 1-1. Jules, who looked better?
Neither, I thought. I thought it was a pretty even game, and maybe in the second half, Leicester edged it a little bit. Watching the game, I thought, we were spot on Monday when we talked about Leicester. Was it Monday or the week before? About the post-Vardy era. Because, he's not there. And he's not there for a while. I don't think he'll be back before mid-Feb, maybe. And, you've got Ayose Perez. You've got Iheanacho. This is not the answer.
No, but they can still create in different ways.
Yeah, but I wonder if at some
Maddison
point maybe
looked good again.
Would you try Maddison as a false number 9? Would you try as a De Bruyne?
I think we might see Maddison in that position sooner rather than later. I genuinely think so.
I'm just thinking, they got a point at Everton. It's a really good point for Leicester because it looked like at some point they could lose that game. But certainly, again, the post-Vardy era and replacing Vardy will be far from easy for them.
I thought Leicester shaded this game, and I was, I'm an Ancelotti fan.
So
I'm sorry,
it takes a lot from you to say that.
probably agrees with me. But equally, you could look at it the other way and say, Jordan Pickford, again, not covering himself in glory.
No, again.
UEFA, you were kind to Pickford.
I thought about
right.
being harsh, and then I thought, I'm on a good day today, yes, UEFA meet with all 12 host cities for Euro 2020 in 2021, of course, and President Alexander Seferin says the plan is to go ahead as planned. Wishful thinking, Gab?
I think it is wishful thinking, and to be fair to Sheffield and UEFA, he said, as of right now, we're going to do this, but we're going to revise things. I think they're going to make a call in April, and I think that's where we're going to find out, are they all going to be in a bubble in one country?
Yeah.
What's the travel going to be like? What's the vaccinations? What are the borders going to be like? There's just so many things up in there, and there's so much riding on it, from ticket sales to sponsors to broadcasters. Look, we got to deal with the reality. There's bigger things, and we just have to be flexible.
Definitely.
Sevilla defeat Valencia 3-0 in the Copa del Rey. Jules, the party rolls on, and Papu Gomez is on his way.
The Papu dance is coming to you, Sevilla. I mean, the second goal, especially if you haven't seen it, check it out, because they pretty much go from their own box and then create an amazing goal where pretty much all the team touches the ball, and De Jong with the finish, the Suso like cross back is perfect. I mean, everything is great in that goal, and they're very impressive. As we said, it's such a shame that they lost those games against Eibar, against Granada earlier in the season in La Liga. Otherwise, they'd be closer to Atletico Madrid.
They're super impressive, and look, I don't particularly I don't know Lopetegui.
Yeah.
I don't think he behaved well in the past. There's many reasons to dislike him.
Yeah.
But the guy is a brilliant manager because you know what? Apart from obviously Koundé and one or two others, there isn't a lot of talent in this team.
No,
now there is because Papu's there.
Oh,
but you know what I mean?
Like, he's going to slot in.
He's making the best out of the group of players. I mean, Rakitic is just there on rep only, and because he loves the club. You know, you don't look in this series. De Jong,
of
Ocampos
course.
is up and down. Suso is one dimensional.
Same,
remarkable.
No, incredible. English referees have been told to modify the interpretation of the offside rule to avoid situations like the one between City and Aston Villa when Rodri, who was offside, challenged Tyrone Mings, leading to a City goal. It's a good idea, right?
Sometimes I feel like we're living in a parallel dimension in this country. No, seriously. So when this happened, and for those who don't remember, Rodri was clearly offside. The ball goes back out, it comes back in. Mings chests it. When he chests it, Rodri goes to challenge him because technically a new phase of the game has begun, and then he loses it, and City score, and Dean Smith gets upset, and he gets sent off, and whatever else, right? That's what happened. We both said, these are the rules. These are the laws of the game, right? There's scope for a referee to interpret it, but these are the laws of the game. You should have known that, you know, a new phase starts when this happens. Or at least that is how the referee can interpret it. All they've done here, and I love it because English media made it seem as like, oh, FIFA have changed their mind and IFAB. No. FIFA and IFAB haven't changed anything. The PGMOL, who gives guidance to referees on how to interpret things, basically told, hey, referees, don't be stupid, right? When he's clearly, there is scope for interpretation of when a new phase of play begins. That Tyrone Mings chest could be interpreted as a new phase of play. It could not be interpreted. They've been told to prioritize the dynamic, whatever language they use. Basically, they're saying, be smart, use common sense, use the discretion that you have.
Which they should have done in that game.
You know, and then the reason I got annoyed is because people was coming out and saying they didn't know the rule. That's not acceptable. You do this for a living, you should know the rule. And you should know you're at risk of this happening. I mean, I don't, like, at least hopefully we won't have these ridiculous reactions again.
Exactly.
Jules, here's a stat you might appreciate. According to WhoScored.com, since the start of last season, Lionel Messi and Kevin De Bruyne have created the most clear-cut chances in the Big Five European leagues. It's 47 that they've created. No surprise there, right?
No.
But can you tell me who's just behind them with 45?
Is he one of my boys?
It is one of your boys, and it surprised me.
Well, seeing how many games he's played compared to others, is it Angel Di Maria?
It is Angel Di Maria.
Angelito, what a player. His contract runs out in June and they're talking. He's been made an offer by PSG. I think he will stay now that Poch is there too. But
I need to know more of this because if it were just assists, I'd be like, okay, easy. Just pass the ball to Mbappe and Neymar and they score. But these are clear-cut chance creation. There's other metrics that go into it. That's some pretty heady company he's keeping in Messi and De Bruyne.
And even if at times it's still a bit inconsistent to my liking, there's some games that he disappears a little bit, but he's been fantastic for us, no doubt. Gab, Chelsea's women's team are unbeaten for 32 consecutive games. Are you impressed? You must be impressed.
I am not as impressed as I would be. People say, oh, look, they set the record. And I'm going to apply the same standard that I apply to the men's game, okay? This is the Women's Super League record, which was created in 2011. Guess what? Women played football in England before that. And the record, and I have to cite this because the record is so much bigger. The record is 108 games unbeaten. And it didn't happen in the 1950s. It happened, I think, between 2004 and 2008.
Alex Scott's
Arsenal ladies, right? So, celebrate women's football history as well. 32. Not impressive compared to 108.
But Chelsea are really good.
They're really good at
Sam Kemp, Penny Harder, and all of that.
I'm sure they're
well done to them anyway.
Well done to them anyway.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.